What's up, guys? Mikey in the building. Hope you guys had a great day today. The pennies FFIE is still going. Hopefully it closes really strong, and then tomorrow we see that dollar break. But phenomenal penny runner again today. This one, along with SINT, SINT. I thought this one was a great one too. It did give back its whole move, but this one really did what it had to. Daily wise, though, on this one, I particularly like window gaps, right? This one held above this particular consolidation above the daily, so drawing out your little zones. 16 cents, anywhere between 15 and 16 cents was key. Had this up earlier. Just want to show you again, right? Someone's trying to call me, but I can wait. Throw this out right here. Okay, so this level was key. Inside of this, okay, for SINT, before I go our FFIE, I'm already focused on this one. SINT, this was a great breakdown zone right here on the 1. Right here, so this is where it broke down and then it tried to reclaim and then failed. So before I did have this little red zone. I normally make them white, but between FFIE and a couple of the runners, I was really focused on FFIE. And when this one finally set up later on, this was important, right? So this was really important right here when this tried to reclaim here, and this did not break down, okay? This did not break down. Shout out to Thiz because he did kind of put this one back on the radar, mentioned it, and I was able to get 1507 on here and accumulate 1507s. Once I saw this particular zone right here hold and it started trading above it, I tried to grab as close as I could to 15s, and I basically snuck in right into here, which was great. The book on this one was phenomenal too for SINT. They're still absorbing on FFIE. That's great. All right. I thought the book on this one was great, particularly right here. Okay, a couple things right here on the book, right? This is where this kind of failed, but didn't really fail off of any offers kind of pushing this down. So this did consolidate. 15 cents did become point of control. You can see a lot of transactions went through right here on 15 cents. This area was a particular area of a previous area of interest on the book. So when this did start to pull back, really right here, this did not break down, okay? This did not break down in this area. And then this is where some more support came in, and especially against this 15 right here, 132K. This is what I like about the book the most, right? Is that you can snipe some really good positions and accumulations based off when you spread the book. You kind of see it going a lot faster on this one, so I get to see what happens. And when you combine that with your level 2, if they throw offers on that level 2 and you see some support, it's like, hey, thanks, thanks for letting me in, thanks for letting me grab that particular price level, and then clear support of this actually breaking down, right? The appetite on the sell side was nothing crazy on the book, and then even on time and sales in the level 2, right? And every time they did try to sell, you see it immediately swipe back up, soak, and throw refresh bids. With these pennies, this is something that I like to see a lot, where they have refreshers, right? Anything that, if it swipes down real quick and then refreshes. This one actually did this right here, which was amazing. And when I was in the room, I put a diamond hand picture, like diamond hands, because this came all the way back down. I thought I was going to give the whole move back, and I was going to have to flatten. But that did not happen. These sellers right here got absorbed. If you see this right here too, this is something that I saw on FFIE, which was phenomenal. Okay, and I saw this too in a couple other names lately, especially utilizing the book. So I think this is great to bring up, right? Don't forget to hover over your volume dots and kind of see or get a general idea of like how much volume's coming through, right? So 83,000 shares went through right here. If you look at the book right here, it looks like there's no bids, All right, but this is clearly someone getting soaked and absorbed on the sell side, and this is not breaking down. So, there's someone hidden right here, or potentially some level 2 on a different exchange showed up, but there was a hidden buyer right here. Okay, so that was great to see, or someone get absorbed right here, no follow through, and this completely swiped up, and this was when I thought this was amazing to see. Game on. I like to call this the sandwich on the book, but a new bidder came up over here, 240,000. Showed up right here, and then we started to remove this liquidity. A little book flip right here. These pennies do this a lot. They do these little book flips, and like you'll see a little spoof bid, right? No selling going on, and you see some market slappers coming through aggressively. Remove the liquidity. They do that little book flip thing right here again too. A little spoof bid. Rips out. They pull this liquidity. Don't want to get filled here, and retest it, and then do another book flip at 19. And then again, you see another book flip at 20. Starts to continue. This area right here, this swipes so quick. That's another thing that I like about having a great average, right? There's like this misconception. I like what I learned through with holding and trading around a core and accumulating and not looking for instant gratification is that things are going to pull back. Things are going to dump. People are going to take profits. You're going to see some manipulation, right, on stocks. Happens all the time, especially in small cap land. But as a long, I like to see things pull back, and I like to see what happens when things do those quick swipes. I learned that from J-Rut, where you see this really sharp pullback, really really fast, yank, and then all of a sudden it consolidates, doesn't break down, retraces, and then breaks out again and actually goes for a higher push, right? So things like that happen all the time. It happened right here, again right here, but no panic. Still want to see what happens in the follow through. So there's a really great seller exhaustion that happened right here again. This did not fully break down. There was also a lot of support on level 2 with ARCA and those other exchanges, and then you kind of see this start to try to make new highs, and then eventually, it got exhausted, and then if you see right here, there's not a lot of support, and then there was more appetite on the best bid over here, and then you kind of see the book starting to flip, exchange, and kind of basically do the opposite of what it did on the front side, and then flipped and did it on the back side. But SINT was a great one. FFIE, wow, just wow. Okay, so much absorption going on through here. Okay, couple spots that I added this. I wish I'm going to get better at FFIE. And the reason why I say that is because FFIE, bounce and almost came up to yesterday's high. Yesterday's high was about 36 cents. This pulled back to about 38, and there was a huge absorption right here. Okay, I did not participate in this. I played it a little bit later. I don't know why. For some reason, I thought this was just going to sell off, but I'll get better at that. Right here. Okay, so they sold through these 40s, and then this 39 bidder stuck. Sellers got absorbed, and then it started to put in some higher lows and retrace. I started to play this. Unfortunately, still very happy on this pullback right here. Once this started to pull back, because yesterday FFIE swept and absorbed a lot of sellers and started to pull back and retest those previous areas of interest. All right, this was basically wedging right here, and kind of created actually a big flag. But I started to take some shares against 52s and these dips right here. These you can see some bid support against 50, and I held until we kind of broke out of this right here. But to me, this was a great ad spot, almost a double bottom right here off 50 and into a previous area where there was a lot of absorption right here. So they swept the book right here. They removed this liquidity, and when it pulled back, it didn't really get heavy on the offer side, too much. There wasn't like this straight control and sell pressure or offer pressure on this. So I accumulated some 50s, 52s, and then I averaged up way up here, right? sold some into 70s, but when they pulled back to right here, this is where I averaged up. I waited for this bid. I waited for this bid to get tested, and then I reacted off this not breaking down and averaged up and slammed it as soon as I saw this stall right here, and actually averaged up to 68.11 from 52s to 68, and then rode this all the way up here, because you can see right here this was a great dip, and I'll even show you on the chart real quick, but I love going off the book. It's phenomenal. This was that dip. This was the previous pre-market high, which is at 70 real quick, but it dipped down. It tested this liquidity magnet. Did not break down. Sellers got absorbed, and then new bid support came in immediately, and it was just game on, right? This was game on because this saw a lot of empty space up here, and you can see it didn't really stay heavy up here. All right, there were some little offers. Now when you zoom in, you break this up, you know, you're going to see some of it being pulled, lightened, more bid support coming through, some more spoofs, okay? Super important. This is another nice consolidation. Just because they pull this bid doesn't mean it's going to get weak, okay? Sometimes I think this is a nice trap, depending on the price action, level 2. And then this started to actually break out and start to go parabolic right here. This was great. This was like another area of a book flip right here, and started to squeeze. All right, this tested 92 cents. Sorry, 98 cents. All right, I thought we were going to get almost tested 98 cents. I thought we were going to get the dollar break. That did not happen. But sorry. I really thought it was going to happen right here. Tested 98 cents, and then they restacked it. Why is my book tripping right now? Okay. But yeah, this one's great. I still think it's going to try to push right here, but this was really important. I wanted to show this. I'm probably moving my mouse a little bit too fast right now. I thought 98 would break out right here, but this is where a fat absorption happened, and then they would just restack 98, and then eventually it started to come back down. All right, let me put this down. FFIE. All right. So again, these were the ads on FFIE. Once it started to reclaim and consolidate down here, kind of this big flag down right here. I wish, you know, I would have paid attention to right here, but that's okay. But I did join right here, and then I sold some, and then I averaged up into this pullback right here. That was that area of 68s, and this little pivot right here. But more importantly, you know, that was, I did mark this pre-market high right here of 70 cents. Okay, so I did mark that out, kept that out, and then, you know, things do like to break down a little bit, but this is where, again, if you did draw like a breakdown zone or immediately after that bounce, it held it right away. I did play it off the pivot and that liquidity magnet not breaking down, right? I like to see how these liquidity pockets are being tested before I make a decision sometimes on re-adding. I think that's a really big thing if you guys utilize the book, right? But this is great. I love pennies because the liquidity sometimes in them is insane. Like today, another 1.3 billion. Yesterday, 1.4 billion, or 1.5. Sorry. You can get away with, right? Taking more risk, more size, keeping things a little bit tight, and then looking for more pressure on the bid side and buyer side to step up, and then it gets away from your average, and you kind of like let it work out and go. Daily on this one, again, there was, you know, for day one, this tested an important area, key level, and then gapped up above it, and then just ripped and filled more, right? So 76 was big to me on this one. And then after that, you're kind of retesting these areas right here on the daily, all this stuff right here. So right now we tapped out about right here, which, okay, that's a cool little window gap right here. But yeah, that's all I got, guys. Just a phenomenal day, FFIE and SINT, and I know SLNA went. I'll be looking probably forward to trading that tomorrow. So we'll see how that goes. I missed some of this. All right, definitely ran. Potential wise, I definitely can see this setting up, right? Very similar to FFIE in the sense we're a daily setup. Maybe tomorrow this closes decently, and then we start gapping up and testing these areas. Maybe we'll get a 30 swipe. I think the daily SMA, yeah, is 31. 200 SMA is 31. So we'll see how this goes. Maybe some higher lows, and tomorrow we start cranking on this one, which would be great. I would love to see this go another 100, 200%. But all right, guys, much love. Peace out, Mikey.